I think we need an EP review today, Nation. I think we're going to talk briefly here about Deathspell Omega's new EP, DROUGHT, which is a collection of 5 songs. It is going to run roughly about 21 minutes in length, and I'm going to keep this kind of as briefly as I can, considering we have a bigger fish to fry later on tonight. Now, this, of course, is an EP by the French metal, I guess, underground legends, you could almost call them. This is a band that has received a tremendous amount of respect and attention ever since 2004, ever since changing their sound over from a Transylvanian Hunger style of black metal over to a little bit more of an experimental, a little bit more of a philosophical brand of the black metal genre, and just really kind of tweaking the sound and doing everything that they can to be kind of as uniquely as they possibly can, not necessarily resting on their laurels and repeating and rinsing and repeating each and every single album. With this EP, it's a very quick little affair. It's not something that is going to overwhelm you. That's what an EP is supposed to be all about. However, the one thing I will say about this EP, which is kind of one of the main things that I also had, or main issues that I had with their last album, Pericletus, was that I don't see that much happening here. This is an album that I listened to it all the way through multiple times, and I just didn't really feel much with it. It's not that I didn't feel like it had any soul, any emotion, any sort of philosophical grace, any sort of real balance to it, or, you know, nothing really jumped out or jutted out to me about this release. It's, you know, an EP release full of just what I would consider to be average to potentially good material by this band. You know, after being spellbound by some of their previous releases, I've been a little underwhelmed as of recent, ever since 2010, the last full-length album by the band, and now again here on DROUGHT. It feels as though it's maybe time for a little bit of a form shift for these guys. Maybe it's time for them to dive even further and even deeper into the realms of the weird and the bizarre to go along with their philosophical and, you know, kind of a little bit more polished version of the black metal scene. Take a look at a band that is also kind of within that same realm, that same universe, Blutos Nord, that is able to consistently release very, very strong albums and very, very strong material, because each one feels like they're going a little bit further outside the box. There's a constant developmental, there's a constant development going on with the band. They are not resting on their plateau, the musical plateau. That's an old metaphor that I used to use for a lot of bands, and I'm going to use it again. It just feels right now that with these last 2 releases that Deathspell Omega's kind of been on a bit of a plateau, and while it's not a terrible place to be for Deathspell Omega, because they have they have a very good reputation that definitely precedes them coming into this EP. I just feel as though it was very underwhelming. It was something that I was expecting, something lavish, something with a lot of texture, something with a, you know, shit ton of experimentation, and I didn't really get that, you know. Maybe it's unfair considering I'm going off of an exceptional EP by the band Agalok, but actually, no, that's not even a valid excuse, because I just remembered that I had reviewed that as I said it. So yeah, overall I'd have to give this probably around a 7. It's definitely listenable, and it's not bad. First-time listeners will probably be impressed, but I have kind of heard this before, so hopefully that the next time that we get a full length from these guys, it will kind of have the calculated risks that we've come to expect from Deathspell Omega albums, and hopefully that will be something that we will get more so on a full length, as opposed to the, well, near lacking that we got on this EP. What about you guys? What do you think? Did you love this EP? Did you hate it? Am I an asshole, or am I a god? Let me know.